guys, that is the first fish of the day and the first fish on my new reel, and it is the first fish on my new rod. Man, and I guess it's the first fish on a new bait, if I didn't say that. Anyway, all right, well guys, as you see, I got my hip boots on, so that means we done got in some cold weather. And I have a pretty good day going so far. It took a while to pick out a good day out of all this bad weather, but I got up here in one of my old fishing holes out of 6 Mile, and as you can see, the tide is way out, and that's what I've been waiting on. But it went from super high to super low all in a very short time. And so, well, let's just see what this rascal. I need one for the house. It's been a while, I know, but oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at him close. Sorry about this, guys. He's 20 and a quarter. I might just have to take him. I don't know what we're gonna catch today, guys. I paddled all the way up into there and went around, made a big circle, and hadn't been here real long. But my theory was, because it was about noon when I got out here today, and I felt like give, you know, a little bit of time for the water to warm up, and maybe something would come up out of the deeper water here. And that's exactly what this guy did. I was coming back through this cut, and I knew this little hole here is deeper, and I thought there might be some laying in the bottom of it. So I done a couple of chunks in there, and then all of a sudden I seen him come up out of there and get up on that shoulder, and well, y'all see what happened after that. So anyway, let me put him in the box real quick. Like I said, he's just barely legal, but that's all right. He's not even gonna die on a day like today. He'll stay alive till I go home. These cool days, and I got a little bit of ice in that thing. He'll be alive for 2 or 3 hours, so he won't shrink. All right. So look here. I think that was a redfish wake right there, maybe. That's a pretty big wake. I don't know what all that is. Ooh, that didn't sound good on the reel. Anyway, all right guys, let me first start off with this fine rod here I bought. It is a Falcon. It's a 7-foot rod, and it is medium action. I think I paid, I don't know, was it 69 or 89 now. It's been a little bit, a week or so ago, a couple of weeks. The first time I had a chance to get out. So anyway, that, I was really excited about that rod. It's a 7 foot, where what I've been fishing with 7.5, and what I used to always fish with was 8, maybe 8'6" even, though, because I was always after long cast. But now I'm kind of, you know, when you're kayaking and paddleboarding and whatever, you're not after the long cast, you're after the more precision. So that's what we did here. Anyway, the bait I'm using is from H&H, and it is a small grub. Now it doesn't have a name, but it's a pumpkin colored with the black glitter, and it says SET 310-24, but real cheap, real cheap. but I believe it's going to be real effective. Alright guys, what do we have here? Alright. Oh yeah, look at you take that drag out. That's what I come to test the drag on this reel. Guys, it was what I've been dealing with this Piscifun now. It's acting better, and I know the first part of this video, you guys seen me catch those two on this other rod that I have laying down there, and this is a different day. I decided, well, I didn't decide. I guess it was decided for me. I went around the corner from that last one you seen, and I ran out of water. I come right up in here, and this was like dry ground. So I just decided to go home. It started getting overcast and cold, and I said, well, let's just see what we can do. Well, I'm not horsing this guy. I'm kind of letting him run with this drag, and it's kind of more of a busy time out here. I've seen other fishermen out, so you can't be as picky as when you got the place to yourself. So, but that's not bad. I mean, I tell you what I did to make this reel work better. This is the Piscifun Perseus, and Jim told me he you know, puts a Yamaha grease on them drag washers. I got to thinking, you know, I never thought about putting grease on drag washers. I guess being a rancher, and I even farmed for a while and everything, and you have you know, you have these disc and the shredders and stuff. You don't put no oil on them because you don't want them to slip unless they're in a real bad bind. But I got to thinking, well, my problem is not that it's you know, not, you know, it's got plenty grab. So let's just you know, lube it up really good, because I can always tighten down on it. This is a good fish right here, guys. And I put that Piscifun on this Falcon rod that I talked about earlier in the video. Man, I sure wish I could reach the bottom right here. It'd stop me, because he's taking me where he wants to. He might be a little big for me today. I'm not real picky because it's been a few days since the last video, and I haven't got any fish at home stacked up. All right, where is everything at? All right, you done? You done, son? But I decided we needed to try this lure out a little more. I knew it'd work, but you got to get on fish. You got to get on the fish to test it. And I ran out of fish. I could have fished the deeper spots. Oh, come on, guy. He's 25 3/4. I'm gonna decide whether I want to take this rascal or not. I don't know. I've been here a little while, and I made a pretty good circle. We've got a high tide that's falling, and so it's gonna run out of water up here in these things, and I don't know how quick. It might take a couple hours, or it might be 30 minutes, and this will all be drained out. I can't. It's really rushing out pretty fast, so I may not get another shot at lunch. So anyway, I think I'll put him in a box. He'll make some good lunch. But all right, guys, let's come back in. I got some more to talk about the other other rod that we started with today. I done some mods on it. I got a set of bearings from Boca Bearing, ceramics. Yeah, put what were they? Probably about $35 worth of bearings in a $38 reel. That's kind of crazy, but it sure makes it cast better. But this one, the Piscifun, still outcast it. Well, maybe not distance wise, but it's just smooth, and the reeling in is so much smoother. It's just awesome. But we get that drag set just right, and I think the Piscifun, I have another one coming. I had one of you guys said I need to try out the what was it, the turret, and a Piscifun turret. I said, why not? If nothing else, the parts will interchange. $38, you can't lose too much. But all right, it is a beautiful day out here though. I didn't really see all of this guy. He just kind of made a little swirl in the water, and so I was able to get on him. All right, I'll throw him in a box and we'll get back to fishing. Alright guys, I seen a weight come through that little cut right there, and I kind of didn't get a good throw at him, and so I spun the board around and I just kind of blind cast it out in this area where I thought he was, and it looks like he picked it up. So let's just see what we got here. I don't really know. Pretty sure it's a red. I see his tail now. He's a red. I don't know if he's a slot. It feels fairly solid. Just, oh man, I can almost touch the bottom here. Almost to stop me. Yeah, let's just put the old board down here. Come here, fella. Yeah, I think he may be a nice little keeper. That would be good. Come there, fella. Well, that's good, because I really wanted to get some time in on this bait, because I really believe this bait is going to be the ticket. Oh, all right. Well, that wasn't ideal. Come here, fella. I'm a little rusty, guys. It's been a few days since the last trip out. Plus cold weather kind of get my old bones kind of, they ain't as limber as when it's warm weather. All right, well, he's a good 21 inches. Well, guess what? He's going in the box. Oh, I think I just saw a splash against the bank right there. That's good. That's where I was headed. All right, well, I'm gonna pitch him in a box. That'll be number 2 for today, and I'll bring y'all back in a second. I want to maybe try throwing with that other reel. I will before the video's over, I think, unless something comes up. I'll show a comparison. I'll pick it up and I'll throw the Piscifun, and then I'll throw this one with them ceramic bearings in it and let y'all see the difference. But I just love fishing with this one because it's so smooth, and the drag feels 100% better, so I think I can live with the drag. And I don't know about the bearings though. They're smooth right now. I don't know what they'll do long term, because honestly, when I took it apart and I'm looking at them, it already's forming surface rust around the outside of the bearing on the crank. Not the ones on the spool, but on the crank, the outside bearing. It just around the outside, not the inside. But if the inside gets any rust at all in them balls, Oh man, I just heard another bust. We better stop talking and go get some fish. We'll talk in a second when we get them. But worst case scenario, I can swap bearings out as long as everything else is good and have a really nice reel. But all right, we'll see you in a bit. All right guys, like I said, I'm gonna show you this reel right here is what we started with in this video. 17 plus 1 bearings it says, which is a lie big time. They make one that says 11 plus 1, and it has actually one more bearing. This one doesn't have a bearing under this cap, it just has a little plastic bushing, but it has a bearing on each side of the spool, well, one here and then one in this housing. And I replaced the one on the spool and the one in the housing with 2 Boca bearings, were $17.40 something a piece. Yeah, that's crazy to spend that much on a cheap reel, but let's just cast it a couple of times, see what it does. That's a pretty good cast and smooth. Now when you reel it, it's not as smooth as the Piscifun for sure, as far as you feel it a little bit, but it's well within, oh, I would say it's about like my Lew's was as far as cranking in. But them bearings definitely helped. I mean, it would growl at the beginning of this video. I don't know if you caught it on them. I don't recall how it sounded when I look back on it, but I just couldn't fish with it the way it was. It was terrible. It'd cast good 1 second, next time it would just growl. And so I've casted this one several times and it hadn't growled once, so I believe bearings were the problem. And the drag system I do love on this one. It's for sure a lot better and smoother than the Piscifun was. Now I don't know right now, Piscifun is starting to act right again, so maybe it'll be okay. All right, well that's enough with that one. But while we're sitting here in the same spot, well, we have the same lure basically. Now see, this is about maybe 20 feet shorter cast than that one was. Throwing about the same, strength, the same amount but this rod is 6 inches shorter too, you got to remember. So that makes a difference too as far as your distance in your cast. Let me back off the magnets a little bit and see. I don't want to backlash, but yeah, see, it's not even near as far as this other one was. So I think it would benefit to buy a set of Boca bearings and put in this Piscifun, but then you're going to add another $35 to it, so whatever, 38 and 35, so that's what you would have. But I think it would be a very good upgrade. But then you might as well go ahead. They have a bearing, the one I talked to you about that had the little bit surface rust around the outside race was under here, and you might as well buy one of them too. You might not have to go with the ceramic bearings, but you might. They make them, they're about $9 if you get the cheaper ones, but if you want to go whole hog, go ahead and spend $17 and get you a ceramic one for there too. And that's your 3 main bearings in these reels. They might claim, at least the Piscifun is not that bad about line. They said theirs, I think, is only like, I don't know, 6 bearings, I think. I don't know, I thought it was on here. They don't claim to have, 6 bearings. And that's probably right. This one probably has a total of 6 bearings. So at least they're honest with us. All right, I done let it get wrapped around the end here. But guys, that's kind of what, I mean, I wouldn't recommend that other one. By the time you have to buy bearings for it and whatever to make it cast good, get you a Piscifuns or something else. I just kind of like I'm boycotting a little bit the Shimano because they just outpriced me. Back in the day, that's all I fished with. When I was a captain and I took out charters, Shimano was all I had, mostly spinning reels, because most people can cast a spinning reel. But I'd fish with a Corrado, and they weren't bad. You know, you could buy them fairly reasonable, but now it is just terrible. They decided they want to get in with the big boys. So I'll do anything I can to keep from supporting people that get greedy. Now, that's just my opinion. Y'all do what you think's best, but let's cast this one again. Now that's about the same distance as the last cast on the other one, but though I had a gust of wind kind of fighting me sideways. But this one has casted further. Yeah, see, that's a good 20 feet further out there. And when you get them ceramic bearings and you put them on like a pencil or something and you spin it, they don't have no oil in them or whatever. They don't need it because they're not going to rust with the ceramic and stainless. And they just spin and spin and spin like a fidget spinner or something. You get these bearings out of this when you put it on the pencil and you flip it and it goes wah, wah. Don't even make a full turn. So they dang sure make a difference, but they're expensive. But anyway, I had nothing but good luck as far as, you know, with buying Boca. They got it here quick. When I bought 2 bearings for this thing, and they were free shipping. And then I found out that my other reels that I bought with the same brand has a bearing under the cap. So in the main spool, you'll have one in the cap, you'll have one on the other side of the spool, and then you'll have one under the cap. So I decided I wanted that bearing too, so I ordered it. Well, being it was only 17 bucks, they charged me $2 to send it to me, so it's 19 bucks. But I want to put these 3 bearings in one of my other reels that have all 3 bearings in it, and I want to see how it operates. I have a feeling that it'll cast great, but I have a feeling it'll be the same issue as far as the reeling part of it. You know, it's not bad though. It's not real loud and growly. I mean, it's every bit as good as the Lures I was fishing with for years here. But for some reason, this Piscifun has it figured out as far as the gearing to where they're quiet. I mean, they don't make hardly any noise on the gears. Of course, my casting with this short rod's not that far good. It makes a difference. Every few inches on that rod makes a difference on that casting. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's the bearings as much. It's just, and this lure might be a little lighter. See, I make them myself, so I grind them down. This one might be just a hair lighter than the other one. But I mean, that's a respectable cast, but it's just not. It's 20 feet shorter than the other one at least, maybe 30. Oh, there was a bigger fish right there where I've been casting. Maybe we'll hook up while we're testing all this. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I still got a little fishing to do to get back where I started, but I wanted to go ahead and not make this video too long. I just feel like between the other day when we came out and then these 2 fish, that'll make a good video. I'm gonna go ahead and work my way back to where I started, and I might catch another one, but if I do, I may pop it in here, we may not. We'll see how we do once we get into editing. But anyway, we want to say God bless, and we will see y'all next time.